Record for later. So welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining on. We're going to do this. We do this about every Saturday. We'll talk about the various topics. A lot of it has to do obviously with just sharing the product, sharing the opportunity. A lot of times we'll do, getting started right, training. We'll kind of do a combination today because we have a bunch of new starts that have joined, but then also talking about, getting people from not knowing to knowing. It's really just sharing what we have. The question, I always try to do some of these trainings based on what questions I'm getting, throughout the week more than others. And I think the question I've got the last few days is as much as anything is like, do you lead with the product or do you lead with the opportunity? And some of that varies based on who I'm talking to. I do know some people are most likely going to be more interested in maybe the product than they will be the business. Sometimes people I might think they might be interested more in the business than the product, but the simple answer to that question is I share both because I never really know. What I learned in this industry a long time ago is you cannot prejudge. You never know who's going to be interested. You never know exactly what part of it they're going to be interested in. Sometimes this makes the most sense for someone financially, business-wise, and they choose not to join us. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense in the world. You'll find somebody that's been very successful, has their own business, has all the time in the world, and they're like, man, this thing's incredible. Like, I want to join your what you're doing here because you guys are going to help a lot of people. And so you never know exactly the reason that they'll join. And so I always say, share with everybody. I talk about both. And let me kind of go over that. We have an opportunity because of the product. So I would say I'd probably lead with the product a little bit more because that is why I'm here, is because of what this product is doing for people. And then also this product category. Where this category is going with, hemp, cannabis, everything. That's why I'm here. Because of that is the reason we have an opportunity. And so I share basically in relation to that. And that's kind of what attracted me. But also, too, don't be afraid to share what attracted you. Because a lot of times the people you're talking to, it's your friends, it's your family. Not only do they know you, but a lot of times they're very like-minded. And so you can definitely share that as well, okay? So I wanted to hit on that because I always try to go over some questions that I've got a lot more that have popped up in the recent few days this week to go over that. And so let me give you a couple things that I might say to some people. Just a couple little scripts, I guess you'd say. I'm not a huge script person. I know that we've talked about that quite a number of times for those of you that have been on a training before. I think it's more important how you're saying it than exactly what you're saying it. What I mean by that is people listen to your music more than they listen to your words, okay? I could give you a script, write it out word for word, that's something that's worked for me time and time again. But if you say it comes out of your mouth and it's not you, it's not real, they won't even hear any of that at all whatsoever, okay? They 100% will only hear your music and you being you and being real, and you being comfortable and confident. And so that is definitely the most important thing. I always lead with that before we talk about, some different verbiage or different things that you can share that really help people get to take a look at this. Okay. So anytime you hear script or anytime you hear wording on what people are saying, how they're saying it, take that, make it your own. Okay. It needs to be real coming from you. I work for a company. I was a trainer for a company. I trained a bunch of sales reps for a number of years. And the one thing I did not like about the company is they had a script that we actually had to say verbatim. And in fact, they would have secret shoppers that would go around with these sales reps. And if they were off script, they would get warned and they could get fired if they were off script. But my biggest pet peeve of that is that as a trainer, I became more of like an acting coach than I did like a sales trainer. They'd have to memorize that, and then I'd have to basically help them act to where that sounded real and sounded normal. I don't like that, and it's not definitely as real. You will have a lot more success. You'll have a lot more people interested when you just be you, when you just be real. Okay, welcome everybody. I know a bunch of people have joined since we've said hi. Thank you so much for jumping on. Like we said, we do this every Saturday. Just a quick little 30-minute training. I went over a couple questions that we've been getting a lot this week on whether I lead with the product or the opportunity. Short answer to that, I lead with both, okay? So, I might call someone up and think that this person might be really interested in this product, okay? That let's say that they have some pain and I know that they'll really benefit from pain. Now, I am not an ambulance chaser. I don't recommend any of you doing that either, okay? Obviously, I do break it out with category people I talk to, and I will mention stuff with pain or whatever, but this is something we have that's so valuable. People are going to get a lot out of this product. So I definitely don't just go after and try to chase, people that, are a huge need of this product. But if I have something and I know that they have a need with pain, okay, I'm definitely going to talk about that 100%. But I'm also going to talk about why I'm sharing it, okay, which is because I want to provide value for people. I want to help people, and I also want to be compensated for it. And so you never know what's going to get them. And so that's why I say always lead with both. So I might say, hey, I know you were talking about, a couple months ago on Facebook about how you were having some issues with, some pain, whether it be migraines or back pain. I found something I think that will really interest you. In fact, I've done a ton of research on it. I'm going to send you a couple articles that you can take a look at, but I've been so blown away with it. I've actually aligned myself with that company because it's because this product's doing such great things. It's also created a way for some extra money, some extra opportunities. So I'm going to send you some information. I'd love for you to take a look. And then when would be a good time I can follow back up with you? Okay. So really simple. In that situation there, I did share both because you never know. You might call that person up and you might have saw 2 weeks ago that they're in a lot of pain and they're not in pain now. And that doesn't really resonate with them, but they might be looking for an extra opportunity. Okay. So that's why we say I do share both. I share a lot of different things there. It's really important to do a lot of that. So let's say that someone that's been working 2 jobs for a long time and they could really use some extra income. To say, hey, I know how hard you work. I know what type of person you are. I think I found something that's right up your alley. Okay. I think you'll see a ton of benefit from this. You can work it spare time, part-time, but could eventually hopefully replace your second job. And who knows down the road what it can do. But the reason I think it's such a huge opportunity is because it has this product. It's a breakthrough product, has some huge differentiation, but it's in a product category that is expected to have massive, massive, massive growth the next 10, 20, 30 years. And so I think it's something that you just can't overlook. It may not be for you, but I definitely think that it's worth your time, your energy to really take a look and see if it's something that you'd be interested in. Because I know that if you are interested in it, you'll come in, you'll do very well, and hopefully it can free up some time because I know you've been working your tail off, okay? So obviously that one was a little bit more opportunity driven, okay? But we wanted to get back and say why it's opportunity driven, because what you'll find out is that even a lot of people that join here strictly for the business, 100% for the money, 100% for the finances, it does make sense because this opportunity is so massive, okay? But it's still going to come back down to it's so massive because of the product, okay? So I definitely think that's extremely important for you to talk about. And obviously, same too, when you're talking about the product, it's very important to talk about the opportunity and why you're here. You're not just randomly calling them to say, hey, I found this product. You may, but I always want to make sure that I disclose everything and I know exactly what's going on. I always tell people, if there's an elephant in the room, introduce the elephant, okay? In regards to everything. I know we talked last week quite a bit about sharing it with people, talking with people, different situations that she could different situations when you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk to this person. Maybe I shouldn't share it with this person. Like for one example, that person that was a really good friend, but you haven't talked to in 15 years. Okay. How do you call that person and say, hey, you need to look at this opportunity? But you say, hey, this probably sounds really weird. I know we haven't talked in forever, but you were one of the first people that popped up in my mind. I think you'd have some incredible success here and do very, very well. You got to take a look at this. I would love to catch up. It's been forever. I'm glad that this thing popped up in my head because it gave me an excuse to give you a call, which I should have done a long time ago, but you should really take a look at this, okay? That's not weird. That's very real. It comes to the heart. You're addressing exactly what's going on. Sorry about my phone in the background. I apologize. You're addressing exactly what's going on with here, okay? So I definitely want to address those first and foremost. Do you lead with the product? Do you lead with the opportunity? I share both. Very real, come from the heart. I tell people why I'm doing this. I tell people why I think they should do this. And I think those two are the most powerful things when you talk to people. The reason I'm doing this is because I do have a passion to help people. I want to do something that provides significance for people. And when you guys start getting those testimonials coming in of where you sharing the product and seeing how it's benefiting people and how it dramatically changes someone's life, you'll realize how it's so easy to go share with people. Okay. For me, financially, why I'm doing this is I have 3 beautiful little girls, and I don't want to miss out on their life. We are very involved, and I want to be a very, very present father. I want to get those questions every single day of when we have a field trip and I'm the only dad on the field trip, or they're like, why is the dad on the field trip? Why is he not at work? I love those questions because that is the reason I'm here. That's the reason I do this industry. So share that with people, be very real. Okay. So the next part, like I said, we try to make these pretty quick and then we can open up for some questions is, getting started. And when I mean getting started, this is great stuff for the brand new person, but it's also great for the person who's been in the business, since I have been, 5 months ago. Literally almost every week I get started again. Every month I get started again. And so we're coming towards the end of the month. Is it today or tomorrow? I think tomorrow. I think there's 31 days in this month. But so what I do every time the end of the month, I set new goals, okay? And I set new things for myself to really go achieve this next month. So I am starting all over again. We're going into October. It's a phenomenal month, an amazing month in this industry to go share with people. Okay, so I'm basically starting all over again. I don't look about what I build up. I look about, how I'm going to measure my month of October is not what I've already done and what's building and already residual. It's what I can go create new. Okay, so this getting started right training that we're going to do right now here briefly really can pertain to anybody. Okay, so if your goal is to hit a certain rank within our compensation plan, I want you to go and back that out. Okay, so if you want to make, let's say, $1,000 this month, okay, then if you reverse engineer that, you need to make $250 every week. Okay, and now with our comp plan, we get paid a bunch of different ways. Okay, when I set personal goals, though, that's going to be based off my personal production, which is meaning me getting new affiliates, and helping those new affiliates get started, and me getting new customers. So if my goal is 1,000. Okay, that means I can sponsor 4 affiliates, maybe at the premium pack, and I'll hit that number this month to make that much money. Okay, anyone can go do that this month. Okay, so if it's 4 people that I want to sponsor and bring into the business, that means for me, the numbers that I do is I want a 10% success rate. That means I have to share it with 40 people this month. Okay, and so when we all talk about how we're very busy, we have a lot of things going on. If you can talk to 2 people per day, you'll blow past that number, right? If you're working 5 days a week, okay, 2 people a day, you're going to have 40 people out there and share it. Now, what will really increase your success rate over the course of 30 days is talk more people early on. And so the first week of my month is also very, very heavy packed with prospecting, calling people, sharing it. Because what I've learned is that if I really hit that hard the first week, the first 2 weeks, the remaining time is a lot of that's going to be following up, okay? Getting an extra exposure. It might be a 3-way call when they have questions. It might be they have specific questions on what it's going to do for this, or specific questions on the opportunity, or maybe the compensation plan. So a lot of that follow-up call can do for them. So if you do want to talk to 40 people, I would double that, and I would say the first 2 weeks I'm going to talk to at least 4 people a day. 4 people a day, 5 days a week, okay? You're going to get your 40 people talked to in the first 2 weeks, okay? And I'm just using examples here. I'm not saying that's what your goal should be. I'm just saying if that is your goal, that's how I'd break it out. And also, always with anybody here, I have a very open door, open phone call policy. If you say, Nick, I would love a little quick game plan. Here's my goals. What would you do to break it out? Call me up. We can go through that anytime whatsoever. Like I said, this is what I do. I love it. I'm very passionate about it. And so definitely reach out anytime you want a specific game plan, okay? So how do I talk to 40 people? Okay, one quick way to really compress timeframes is to have a launch call. So if you're brand new, I personally recommend this for everybody to do 2 personal launch calls. It compresses timeframes. My goal is to invite at least 20 people per call, okay? So if you say, hey, I'm going to do a call Tuesday and you invite 20 people, well, you just contacted 20 of your 40. Okay, you can definitely go hit that goal. Now, not everyone's going to be able to jump on the call. You're not going to reach everybody because, not everyone answers the phone nowadays and text messaging. But what you're doing is you're setting the ball, you're setting the stage for you to go have a phenomenal month. Okay, so definitely recommend that. And the launch calls, they can be the phone calls, which we do, and that's how we basically kind of build our whole team is just off of a conference call. We've also been doing a lot of the webinars recently where you just play video. I love those because they're very simple. We've even been having some people do some home parties. Some people love to entertain and love to have people come over. That's great. Have them come over, push play on that Dr. Asher video, and then have someone who's an expert or someone who's just other than you call in or FaceTime in to talk a little bit more about the opportunity and answer any questions. So the key is, whatever that goal is, plan this weekend. Take today, tomorrow, Monday to really set the stage and really plan out your month, okay? And I break it out. My goal is I'm going to talk to this amount of people the first 2 weeks, okay? Those next 2 weeks, I don't talk to as many people from the standpoint of my first contacts, my first exposures, because I'm doing a whole lot of follow-ups. If you do that and break that out, your success rate will go through the roof with the amount of people that you bring in, customer-wise, opportunity-wise. Those that plan are always way ahead of the curve. Studies show that people that actually set a goal, okay, a legitimate goal, write it down, have a 90% chance of achieving it. And then people that are very specific, okay, almost turn into a SMART goal, it increases it by another 90%. Okay, so this stuff is absolutely invaluable. My wife and I, we do goal setting at the end of every month for our next month. We break it out. It's just kind of how we do things. And we do it for everything in life, from the standpoint of, helping our kids with school to, health stuff. Although I've been a little bit behind the 8 ball on that area, but I need to pick it back up. I did definitely gain some sympathy pounds with my wife because I'm a really nice guy like that. only for her though. But literally take time to do that. Okay. And these launch calls, they are so valuable. The calls that we do at 9 o'clock every night, and I definitely do recommend everybody jumping on. What it does is it keeps you in tune with what we have going on here. We do try to mix them up. We do have different speakers here and there, and I'm going to try to start implementing more speakers as we go with those calls, so you guys can get different perspectives. When I do it, I do try to mix them up a little bit. But what you'll realize is that you'll hear something, even if you hear it for the 5th time, something a little bit different, and it'll make you think about somebody new to talk to, some new way to share it with somebody. So I definitely recommend for you guys to plug into that call. If you don't have anybody on that night, help the rest of the group out. Call in, put it on mute, listen to it while you're doing work with the kids or you're cleaning up dishes, because the more people we have on those calls, the more successful the whole group goes. What you'll realize here, when we have a whole team working in unity, working in unison, all ships rise as the tide comes in, okay? When the water rises, all ships will rise. Because guess what? When you have someone on the call the next night, and that person's doing the same thing, calling in, and we have a lot of people dinging in, it just creates a lot of energy for the team and for the group. And so if there's ever a time when you can get on, even if you have to just put it on mute, listen in the background, most definitely do it. It helps everybody, and you'll definitely appreciate the gesture when you have your guests on. But when you do your own personal calls, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a phone call, it provides a little extra value, or a lot of extra value. People trust you, okay? If your family and friends are willing enough to jump on a phone call or a webinar, they definitely trust you to say, hey, take a look at this. And so it holds a lot more weight. So I definitely recommend you guys doing that. Those of you that are setting big goals for this month, make a goal for yourself to do 2 more launch calls, 2 more launch webinars. Have an in-home party. Make it fun. This business is an absolute blast when you're doing that. We have one group that they're having little get-togethers. We have one group that already has a Halloween party planned just for team building that could go and have fun. So literally find ways to really enjoy this, find ways to share it with people, okay? Let me see here. Look at my notes real quick, whatever else we wanted to talk about today. Okay, and so the next part of it was a lot of the questions we were getting this week are, okay, so what happens when I've talked to somebody, maybe they've got on a launch call or maybe they got on something else. What's the next step? What you'll learn in this business, okay, like I said, it's not sales as much as it is sharing. People need multiple exposures, okay, 100%. People need to hear things a number of times, right? When you guys bought the little motorized vacuum that just automatically goes around the house, you didn't buy it the first time you saw it. You're like, well, that could be really weird, could be really cool. What about the dog, and what about the cat, and what about this and this and that? You had to see commercials numerous times. You might have to hear from a number of people. It's the same exact same thing here, okay? So if, let's say you've got someone on a launch call, and you followed up with them and they said, yeah, that sounded really interesting. Maybe we can talk in a couple of days. I always try to set that follow-up immediately. What you'll learn is when you have the follow-up set up, it makes this whole business so much more casual, so much more easy, so much more fun. But what you'll learn is that most people have to hear something 5 to 8 times on average, okay? And that's not just Prime, that's not just network marketing, that's sales in general. There was a study that was done by Business Journal, it's probably been a few years ago, but they said 80% of the sales happens after the 8th exposure. And so the people here in this industry that are most successful, they're able to take those exposures and compress timeframes. So let's say that on Monday you have a launch call and you get someone on and they listen to it. You immediately call them afterward and say, hey, what was your favorite part? What did you like best? They let you know and say, great, let me send you a couple of videos based on what your questions were. Send me a couple of videos and say, can you watch them tomorrow night, say around 7? Okay, great. I'll follow up with you at 8 o'clock. You'll have someone on the phone ready to do a conference call or a 3-way call to answer questions. Okay, and they might have some more questions, more concerns, and then they'll send some more information. So the better you can compress those time frames, the quicker your success happens. Now, with that being said, you'll get some people that life's happening, crazy things are going on. They're not necessarily able to look at the information in a very short period of time. That's okay. I looked at this thing for 3 months, almost over 3.5 months. Okay. I went back with Paul Rogers, our CEO, for a long time. It was not good timing for me by any means. I was very interested. Every time I looked at that, I got more and more interested and more excited about it. It was just not good timing. It was definitely worth it, for my sponsor to follow up with me and for Paul to follow up with me, because now we have, a group of thousands that have literally, joined the group and joined the company based on that. So stick with people. Definitely meet them where they're at, but just inch them and get them to that next step, okay? It's always, that's what this whole business is about, is taking people from not knowing to knowing. Now, you don't do that by convincing and by turning into a Prime My Body expert. You take them from not knowing to knowing by third-party tools, by keeping it simple and showing them that it's very simple for them to do the exact same thing, okay? That literally is my goal at the end of every day. Is, did I take people from not knowing to knowing? Did I educate people today? And when I talk about myself educating them, the other question I always ask myself is, what I did today, could my 5-year-old do it? What I mean by that is, over the last year since I've been studying this product and studying this stuff, like I've learned a ton. I have a ton of knowledge. I don't know near everything. I've been on a ton of 3-way calls. I've basically just had about every question asked to me. And if I didn't know the question, I went and researched it and figured it out. With that being said, when I share it with people that I know, I don't tell them all that. I say, hey, I have something really incredible. I'm going to send you a link to a website, hempoilrocks.com/Dr. Asher. It's a 20-minute video. Do me a favor. If you ever done me a favor, go and watch that for 20 minutes. Take some time aside, study it, focus on it. And then let's jump on the phone call tomorrow. Guess what my daughter can do? Hey, go to this website, okay? Watch it for 20 minutes. You'll really like it. Have success, okay? When someone calls me up and said, Nick, this sounds really interesting. What about this? What about this? I'm like, that's a great question. Let me get Randy on the phone. He's been doing this for a while. I love how he explains this. 1 second. I did that just a couple days ago. And guess what? I knew the answers to her questions. But she needed to know that all she has to do is get somebody else on the phone. Guess what my daughter can do? You know what? I don't know that. Let me see if I can get my daddy on the phone. Okay? So the key is get people to take a look. Okay? Pique their interest. Relate with them on why you're doing this, why they should be doing this, why they should be taking a look. Okay? From there, right, you go from there to the follow-up to the third-party tools that we have, from Hemp Oil Rocks to all the other websites we have that we've been able to create and Terry's been able to create for the whole group, the whole team, okay, as well as all the 36,000 articles that are out there, okay. You take them from there and multiple exposures. But if your 5-year-old can be doing what you're doing, you are doing it right. And guess what? It's a lot more fun that way. When you become the expert and you're trying to convince and trying to sell, people will run from you, okay. I've had that happen before. When I first got started in this industry, I had a sales background. My wife, who used to do hair, cleaned my clock because she was just sharing the information. I was out selling the information, okay? It took me like 6, 7, 8 months to really learn this and say, okay, this is simple. This is more fun. Every person I've called in the last 5.5 months, if I pick my phone up and call them today, they will take my call. I haven't pushed them away. I haven't bombarded them. I haven't wore them out. I've shared information and taken them from not knowing to knowing. And just again, another guy I talked to just 2 days ago called me last night. He's like, hey, I need to get involved with that thing you're doing. And guess what? It's because I didn't scare him off. Okay. So we have just a few more minutes. Like I said, I always want to keep these to about 30 minutes. The last thing I want to talk about is compliance. Okay. Basically staying within FTC regulations, FDA. We have an amazing product. Okay. You guys know just as much as I do what this product can do for people. Okay. It's incredible. Not just overall health, but there's certain conditions that it does amazing things with. We know that for a fact. We have clinical trials to back it up. Now, with that being said, we cannot make medical claims. Okay. This can get our company in huge, huge trouble. So if someone calls me up and says, hey, Nick, does it work for this disease? I'll say, you know what? There's some great information on that. I'm going to send you a couple articles. I've heard some really great results, but would love for you to take a look at yourself. Okay. They could be talking about curing some big disease, and I just talked to 5 people the last 10 minutes that it cured that, and I have 10,000 articles to back it up, and I'm still going to say, I've heard some amazing things, okay, but I'm going to send you a couple articles, take a look, and then when can I follow back up with you? Okay, we cannot make medical claims. We can't even hint that it actually does those things. It does not treat, cure, prevent. It's a supplement. Why I love the Dr. Asher video. Number one, he is a physician, so we can definitely say a couple more things that I can't. But number two, he talks about how this product works. This product goes and strengthens our endocannabinoid system. The endocannabinoid system is the one that's doing the work. It's doing the heavy lifting. We just have an amazing product, the best out there on the market, that actually goes and strengthens that system. So it's a supplement because it supplements our body. You definitely have to hit that hard and share that message. Because if not, here's what happens with these companies. It's happened time and time again. The FTC's job is to protect consumers, okay? There's so many bad companies out there that make false claims, okay? That they have marketing that they put in place to get people to purchase their product that is completely false. So the FTC, because we are a supplement, they have to protect consumers, okay? So we cannot even go there. We can't even hint at that. Definitely make sure you guys are very careful with that. Here's what happens if we don't and we're not careful. The FTC will come in at some point, and it will hurt our company. They'll pause us, they'll shut us down, and not that what we're saying is false. It has nothing to do with that. It all has to do with just legal laws and things that have happened in the history of our country, and other basically false marketers that have really hurt things where we can share. So we have enough information to where you don't have to make claims. Okay, you can send an article, you can share an article. I don't use diseases hardly at all, very rarely. If someone says, hey, what did your mom have that helped you? And I'm on a phone call. Yeah, I might answer that question. But even then I'm like, she still has the disease. It just helped her with the side effects. You can use words like side effects, pain, sleep, anxiety, anything that's actually not a disease or an actual condition. Absolutely. You can definitely address that. Okay. Side effects, those things you can definitely talk about. And then you can definitely, share articles. That's huge. That's how I do a lot of my business. People that will see a benefit with a certain side effect this product helps with, I'm going to pull 2 or 3 articles that I believe are pertinent to them. I'm going to say, hey, take a look at these articles, okay? And can you get them read by maybe 7:30 tonight? I'll give you a call, right? Or, hey, I was reading some articles today. These really made me think of you. I'm going to shoot them over, and then maybe we can jump on the phone later tonight, okay? Share it simply, and definitely stay within compliance. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions. Last thing, we do have a company leadership or a company training at noon today. The noon hour for me on Saturdays is always crazy. Kids, college football starts that hour, so really busy. I just put my headphones in, hit mute, and pay attention. But a lot of times there's some announcements. There's always some good training. I get some of the top leaders of the company to jump on and do some things. And so if you can, if there's any way to put headphones in, definitely listen into that. It always has some great information. A lot of times some good announcements. We are launching the app next week. It is supposed to be out the 5th. The app is awesome. I've been able to be part of the test group, the test subject of it. It's going to make sharing video, sharing information very simple with what we do here. It will track when you send a video. You can know how much the video they've watched. You know when they open it. I sent 2 videos last night. I got alerts that popped up my phone that said so-and-so started watching the video. There's also some extra resources in there. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. It will be launched Thursday. The company should send out a training. We're supposed to do a walkthrough training Tuesday where we're going to actually record it. And then we'll probably do another team one. So next Saturday, the same time, we'll probably be going through the app and how to work the app, how to share the app, and go from there. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Get it downloaded, play with it Thursday, play with it Friday. When I first got it, I just sent videos to my wife, to some people that were already in Prime to kind of play with it a little bit, to kind of see what it was doing, kind of get the feel for it. You can also put people on automatic drip campaigns, meaning if you just want them to go through the whole process, you can put them in and they'll send a video every couple days. So there's some really good info that we have here. But just download it Thursday, start playing with it. We'll go over it next Saturday, answer a lot of questions that are on it. But it's pretty cool. You guys will love a lot of the things that it does, some team messaging. It also has great campaign stats, meaning if you call me up and say, Nick, I haven't got any new customers or new affiliates, I'll say, okay, open up the app on your phone and go pull up campaign stats. How many videos have you sent and how many people have watched them? It's really going to be a great teaching, coaching tool for us to really help you guys have success, because sharing tools, getting information in front of people, taking people from not knowing to knowing, to me, is the key to success. The more you do that, the more you compress those time frames, the more success you have. So I'm going to close it out. I'm going to stay on. I'll be on for a little while in case you guys do have any questions. Definitely feel free to ask any questions, especially regarding what we talked about today. Sharing the product opportunity, building your business. If it's something particular to your own business, question you have, concern you have, customer service thing you have, definitely reach out to me. And I'm going to put my number here in the chat for those of you who do not have my number. So you can reach out there on the chat. Definitely reach out to me. Other than that, I want to keep this really about building your business, customers, affiliates. If you do want to share or have any questions, bottom left, if you're on your phone or computer, you just unmute yourself and you can jump in and chat.
Hey, Nick, this is Dan Clemson.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good. Hey, on the Dr. Asher video, I apologize for this, but I've tried DOCTLR Asher and DR Asher. I'm not getting it. So how do I spell that?
It's capital D and capital A on Asher, A-S-H-E-R. And I'm going to put it in the chat box too. And we're also working on another site to where that will just pop up, because I've used that quite a bit. I don't always lead with that video because it is 20 minutes. What I found is that some people don't get through the whole thing. I think that's a phenomenal video when you already have someone who's a little bit interested. Like, okay, what is this? Maybe step 2, step 3 in the process. You get someone who's interested and they go watch that whole video. We've had a very high success rate because he does a phenomenal job of explaining it. Did that get it, Dan? HempOilRocks.com/Dr. Asher, capital D, capital A, and it is in the chat box for anybody.
What do you lead with, Nick?
What's that?
What else do you lead?
So I'll share the Hemp Oil Rocks website. I think it's really good general. It talks about some of the different benefits. There's a couple of good shorter videos there. I think are really good. And a lot of times it's depending on them and kind of how the conversation goes. If they're talking really product heavy, right? I think Hemp Oil Rocks is great because it talks about that. If they're talking about opportunity heavy, and there's another really great video which we should have up on the site really quick. The new site we're going to be launching here really quick, and so we'll get some messaging out for there that's really good. Sometimes a number of times I've called someone up and it's immediately turned into a 3-way because like, man, this sounds really interesting. Like, tell me more about it. And I'll say, great, let me get Jerry Lynn on the phone. I love how she explains it, 1 second. So a lot of it dictated on them, but I definitely use tools from Hemp Oil Rocks. Some people I've even sent the flyer to, not as many, but I've sent the flyer to a couple people. And I guess that's probably the majority, or our phone calls.
Right.
I don't personally like getting people on a phone call that I'm doing because I like to do third party. A couple of the calls that we've done in the past, I have the recording for them. I'll send that recording out. Like the Rick Moffitt did one weeks ago that was really great. I'll send that out because I don't want them to hear me because I want it to be third party.
Right.
Great question. Anybody else have any other questions?
I do. I do. Is Carol?
Hey, Carol.
Hey. Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Do you send one thing at a time? I tend to overdo. That's just
I mostly do. I think if you send one thing at a time and you set a follow-up, I don't want to overwhelm people. You know, occasionally the same thing. I'll get someone on the call and they're like, "Man, this sounds amazing. What it is?" I'll say, "Hey, here's step one. Go to Hemp Oil Rocks, check out that a little bit, and then go watch the Dr. Asher video." I will do that sometimes. If I have someone who's really asking some, medical questions, over the top questions, I'll send them to the Hemp Oil Rocks, and I'll put that in here in the chat as well. HempOilRocks.com/medical. That talks about the science a whole lot more. But yes, most of the time I do send one. Occasionally two, but most of the time I do send one. The key is to set the follow-up next. That makes sense. Thanks. If you send someone three links and maybe it's 3 videos or 3 things, most of the time they're going to pick one and it's the last one that you send and that's what they're going to take a look at. We're all busy. You know, we all have crazy things in our life. And you got to realize too, when you call people, this is not their priority, okay? It's not important to them because they don't know about it. That's the key. Most people, and I'm pretty confident in this, when you call them up and say, "Hey, you want to take a look at something?" they're going to try to find a way to say no. That's just our natural human instinct, okay? It's new. They don't know about it. They've had people approach them about something else in the past that they didn't like or they weren't about. They're going to try to find a way to say no. And so you definitely have to keep it simple, take them through the process step by step.
Yeah, Nick, I would add to that where I've let myself down in the past by being too cautious around not wanting to follow up, being one of those people. I've actually had them join other people that did follow up better. And it's like, okay, there's a lesson for me. Instead of being shy and thinking, oh, I don't want to bother somebody too much, I change my posture, and I have to willingly do this, choose to do it, that they can't wait to hear from me and to know what to do next. Because
absolutely. Yeah, the urgency and excitement is key. Yeah, posture, exactly. You know what this product's doing. You know what it can do for them. You know what the opportunity is doing for you. You know what the opportunity can do for them. So having that, exactly, posture is saying, hey, this is for you. You just don't know it yet. Now, I don't say that, but I do have that posture that, hey, this is incredible. I'm calling you for a reason, because this is for you. You just take a look, and it is that. And every once in a while, I'll get to the point where I'll say, if I have someone that I do believe that this could be amazing for, and they're not looking, because that happens to all of us, happens to me a lot. They haven't watched the video. They haven't jumped on the call. I might have a legitimate, just straight talk, say, hey, I don't want to bug you. I don't want to wear you out. All I know is that you would be amazing at this if this is for you. Now, I do know you. I think this is right up your alley. All I ask is you take a full look. Don't look at the movie trailer. I want you to watch the whole movie, okay? I want you to see the whole thing that we have going on here, okay? There's a reason I'm calling you. It's not for my benefit. It's for you. Do me a favor. Take a whole look. If at that point in time it's not for you, I won't bring it up again. I might send you pictures from wherever I'm traveling. I might send you pictures from the lake during the middle of the day when you're at work, but I won't bug you about it again. I promise. Okay. Kind of.
Good.
As you can see, I have fun with people. Very real. That's me. I always like to joke with people. So that's something that I would say, not necessarily what everyone would say, but very real. But my goal is to get them to look. I really don't care if they say yes or no. I love working with people who get this and want to go share this and are passionate about sharing it. That's fun. If I'm having to pull people and drag people, it's not fun. Okay? So my goal is not to sell them. My goal is to get them to take a full look, see the whole movie. If they love the movie, guess what? We're going to go have a lot of fun together as business partners. Okay? And my goal is to make them money, not the opposite. Good stuff. Any other questions? And, kind of echo what Jerry Lynn said, the urgency, the excitement, that is invaluable. like I said earlier, people listen to your music, not your words. Okay. So if they tell that this lights you up, this tell that it excites you, it's good. Now, I'm a pretty laid back, casual guy, 100%. So this is something I've really had to work on and learn. And any of us can do that. If I can get a little bit more excited about something, anybody can. Okay. I prided myself when I played baseball to make it look like it was effortless. Like I'd be in the outfield and I'd make a catch ball like this. Okay. Not like whatever, but I'm saying that's my personality. But I've had to get more excited about this because guess what? It is exciting. Okay. I mean, the testimonials, when someone can sleep a whole night and they haven't done that in years, that's exciting. Okay. When someone pays off a credit card or their student loans, like that's awesome. For you to give someone that gift, that's something to be lit up about. Okay. So definitely have that energy with you do it. And if you want to work on that, same thing too. Call your sponsor, call your support group, call me. We can work on that. We can role play because that's something that can be anything. You can grow with anything, become better at everything. When I started this, like I tell you, I was horrible. My wife cleaned my clock. Just got a little bit better every day. You know, you want to get 1% better every day. 100 days, you're 100% better. Good. Any other questions? Does anybody want to know who K-State football plays today? No? Okay. Didn't think so. I think so.
Go team.
That's right.
Hey, I do want to know, you probably said this on the beginning of the call. How's that new little one?
She is doing amazing. She's happy, eating. She's gaining weight back again. She slept over 4 hours the last 2 nights through the night. So she's a good little girl. So things are good. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all for your thoughts and prayers for sure. She's a little sweetheart. I'm just trying to figure. I got to make a decision. Either I need to take more testosterone since I have 4 women in the house, or just cut that all together and join them. I'm not sure.
Better to join.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question also. I missed the very beginning of the call. Is the U.S. bin in place so we can do auto ship yet, or do you have a perspective of time?
So yes, it's in place and it's getting better every day. Decline rates are going down every day. We were on a leadership call. When was that? Maybe Wednesday night. So yeah, the decline rates are going down every single day. The auto ship is going to be with another merchant. There's some reasons why that is the place. Just the token environment that the Bank of Mexico that they do is not as good an environment for the auto ship as this other one. So we have another U.S. merchant, I think, that is on board. They've been kind of going back and forth. They're getting that seasoned. They're hoping within a week that will be up and live, as long as everything goes smooth. So the answer to your question, yes and no. We will not be doing the auto ships through Bank of Mexico. They'll be going through a U.S. merchant, but the U.S. bin is up and improving every day.
How about the preferred customer program?
So that's what she's talking about. That's the auto shipment, and so that basically the same thing. Okay. Yeah, goes hand in hand.
Or we can we can sign somebody up who wanted to get the stuff monthly, but they wouldn't necessarily be signing up as an affiliate.
Absolutely,
but they would be part of our tree.
Absolutely. So they're not necessarily part of your tree. They're not in your genealogy. They'll be your customer. Okay. You'll get paid on them as a preferred customer, as you can see in the comp plan, 10%, but then they'll also be in your pay leg. And so make basically 20% off those as well. Good. Any other questions?
Yeah, where can we send people to watch this training? It was really good, Nick.
I will upload it here shortly.
Please.
It takes a little bit. And would you guys want me to put it out on the text blast, or would you like me to put it in one of the Facebook groups, or what do you think?
Both.
Okay. Okay. Good. Like I said, I'm always real careful. I don't want to blow people's phone up with the text blast system, but I definitely can send it out if you guys would like.
Text system.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are new, you type Prime, text the word Prime to 41411. And that is just our team. And so we let you know what's going on, from our team trainings to the opportunity calls and webinars that we do regularly. Same thing, we'll send out some other information, just stuff that's kind of pertaining to the company, but then also to our specific team. Those of you that are planning on attending LA for that regional event. I will definitely be there, so would love to see you all, if you can make it. And then should be a great event. Dr. Shade will be there. All the ownership management team will be there. So it'll be some phenomenal training. We'll have some good fun as well as a group if you can make it. And I know we have some other good events coming up with the team this week. JT's been great about helping and getting some markets. He's going to be in Tulsa on Wednesday. We've had a big group just kind of join in Tulsa. This is really a great story. Okay. And I think Peg was on earlier. I don't know if she's still on or not. Out of Oklahoma, and same thing. She was just very consistent with it, started sharing with it. And we did 3-way calls back and forth with one of her new affiliates, probably for about 2 weeks. Like, this lady was taking a look for quite some time, which is great. Like I said, it took me 3 months, so that's normal. She joined, and from her and some other leaders that they've been able to bring on board, it's basically led to 100 and something people in the last 10 days, 12 days.
Wow.
So the key is, here's the deal. We have a very hot product, and we have the best product in that space. It's important to share it, have fun, love on people, because you just never know. You really just never know. And so JT's going to go into that market. Then he's also going to be in Burlington, Iowa next Thursday. He's actually, Austin is in Vegas right now with one of our leaders in Vegas. Same thing, reach out to me as well too. Once things settle down for me, I'll definitely be traveling some more. And then we can always ask JT and Austin. I know we're trying to get Austin into Nashville here soon. Olympia, Washington, to see
Yes!
Miss Chris. We're working on getting there really quick, as well as Northern California. So we definitely have some markets we're going to be trying to get in as well. Come and help. But don't let that slow you down, let you stop you. Get out and share it. Go find your next rock star. Anything else from anybody?
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you all. I'll upload this to YouTube and get it sent out. And you guys have an awesome Saturday. And if you can, jump on the noon call. Always have some great information. They'll probably talk about the app. Keep an eye out for the app. And like I said, on Thursday, when it does launch, go download it. I'll probably put out a video as well too. Should be up and ready for Android and iPhone. And play with it. We'll go through a lot of that next Saturday on how to use it, because this is something that it can really speed things up on sharing this and going from there. So we appreciate you all. You guys have a great Saturday. See you on the call at noon, and we'll talk to you soon. Love working with you guys. We appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Take care.
Bye.